In a small town in West Africa, there lived a man named Clement. Clement was known throughout the community as the collector. He was trusted by many because of his diligent work of collecting daily contribution money from the townspeople. This traditional practice, known as twetwe, allowed the townspeople to save money collectively, which Clement would return to them at the end of each month. Clement was meticulous in his duties and went from house to house, shop to shop, collecting small amounts of money from each person. By the end of the day, he had a significant sum, which he kept safe in a large wooden chest in his home. The people admired his dedication and trusted him completely, for he had never failed them. For years, Clement's work helped families save for festivals, weddings, and other important events. His reputation was sterling, and his presence was a cornerstone of the community's financial stability. But as the years went by, Clement began to feel a growing discontent. He saw the wealth he managed every day and started to resent the modest life he led. The temptation grew stronger with each passing month, until one day, a desire became too great to resist. One fateful evening, after collecting the day's contributions, Clement packed his belongings, took the chest of money, and fled the town under the cover of darkness. He traveled to a distant city, far away from the prying eyes of his former neighbors. There, he lived a life of luxury and indulgence. He bought a grand house, dined in the finest restaurant, and attended the most lavish parties. For the first time in his life, Clement experienced the pleasure of wealth. Back in a small town, chaos ensued when the end of the month arrived and Clement was nowhere to be found. Panic spread like wildfire. People gathered in the marketplace. Confusion and anger etched on their faces. Their savings, meant for crucial expenses, were gone. Families who had trusted Clement for years were left devastated. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Yet, there was no sign of Clement. The townspeople reported the theft to the authorities, but the trail had gone cold. Clement had vanished without trace, leaving behind a community in ruins. The betrayal cut deep, and many lost hope of ever recovering their hard-earned money. Years passed, and the money of Clement's treasury became a ghost story told to a warned children about the dangers of greed. The town slowly rebuilt itself, though the scars of the betrayal remained. Life moved on, but the truth that once bound the community together was forever altered. Meanwhile, Clement continued his extravagant lifestyle, believing he had escaped justice. But the fate has a way of catching up with those who think they can outrun it. One day, as Clement strolled through the marketplace in his new city, he was recognized by a former townsman who had moved there. The man could not believe his eyes. He discreetly followed Clement, confirming his suspicion before alerting the local authority. The police acted swiftly. They apprehended Clement and, after confirming his identity, extradited him back to his hometown. News of his capture spread quickly, and the town was in excitement and anticipation. Clement was brought before a court, where he faced the wrath of the people he had betrayed. The trial was swift and Clement was found guilty of embezzlement and theft. The judge sentenced him to many years in prison, ensuring that he would have plenty of time to reflect on his actions. As he was led away in handcuffs, the townspeople felt a sense of closure. Justice, though delayed, had finally been served. Clement's story serves as a tale about greed and betrayal, a reminder that trust, once broken, is hard to mend. The town eventually healed, and the practice of treachery continued, but with stricter safeguards in place. The memory of characters' downfall lingered, a lesson in the high cost of deceit and an ultimate triumph of justice.